All right, ladies and germs, welcome back to Game 2, Series 2, Group B, Infinity Gaming Season 2 Finals. Lots of twos in this matchup. It's going to be Infinity Gaming's Atlas, our Purple Terran, down one game in this series versus EON, upper side of Polar Knight, down on the south side. We've got EON, our Purple Zerg, Hat Boy's favorite color Zerg,
The
and
best color for a Zerg player.
And Dark Lorex's best color or favorite color for a Zerg as well, I've heard.
Much so. Yeah, and spawning up in the top with his special Polar Knight camouflage coloring, we have Atlas hoping to even out this series 1-1 here. It'll be interesting to see if he follows up with more of that mech style play or switches to a more bio-heavy style.
Well, I think Atlas probably thought a little more highly of his build from last game, and probably had a better expectations. That Nidus Worm play from Eon really just taking it to Atlas, making him pull back all of his units, really messing up his SimCity and some other things. Atlas pushed out, and here we are, Game 2, Eon up a game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Atlas didn't notice the Nidus earlier. It was nestled nicely between two missile turrets, so it would have shown up on the mini-map. Sometimes it's just so hard, there's so much going on, you're macroing so hard, you just can't see it, but it was growing in his vision. Granted, the army still wouldn't have gotten there in time to kill the Nidus Worm, but he may have lessened the amount of damage that was done if he had caught it a little bit sooner. But again, great use of the Nidus by Eon to get that army and get that mobility advantage over the hunkered down mech player. So you're a Terran here, Morse, and you're in Atlas's shoes here. What are you thinking?
Cheese.
Cheese?
I mean, and not real cheese, not like some bullshit all in, but you know, Proxy Marauders. That's pretty fun. It's not super effective versus Zerg, but it puts them on the toes. Bunker Rush, really nice as well. One of the advantages that Eon had in that late game, I don't think anybody would argue with me. Ooh, a little bit of lost mining time there. Was that economic advantage. The lack of early pressure that was provided by... Oh my gosh. I just saw that.
Yeah, I'm not picking for no reason. Eon here has a proxy hatch halfway done. Speaking of a little bit of cheese here, proxy hatch at Atlas's third. Atlas is completely unaware of this, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Roach Warren coming down. Eon maybe just trying to end this very quickly here.
Yeah, I figured this was going to be a quick game. I didn't even notice that. I did notice that gas went down pretty quick. Roach Warren, as you mentioned a moment ago, coming down. We're probably going to see... Well, Lorax, you're the expert. We're probably going to see another gas here in a moment, right? To help support those roaches?
You can do a reasonable roach push off of one gas. I'd like to see him saturate the rest of his base here. If you're doing a 7 roach rush, you only need to do one gas.
Ah.
But it'll be interesting to see here. Yeah, he is making sure to spawn the roaches up at this proxy hatch, because I mean, if you spawn them back in your base, there's no real point to having the proxy hatch. Queen is almost completed here on this hatch, and that'll give him more larvae here. All of this effort to go to hiding, Atlas really doesn't have anything out on the map with these Zelnaga towers either, so he could have marched these roaches right across the way. So 3 roaches on the field. We've got 2 more in production. Bunker going up. 4 Marines here. Bunker will finish before the roaches arrive, so that's a very big thing for Atlas. Marines load up, SCVs are there to repair, roaches are forced to pull back. Atlas now aware of the roach threat, combat shield is almost completed. 3 barracks here with an expansion for Atlas. So I think Atlas is in reasonable shape to defend against this now that he knows it's here. He just needs to be careful and not underreact to this. Another bunker going down, I think that's a very wise decision. I wouldn't mind seeing a third one here, as it it does seem that EON is, well, from our point of view, we know that EON is pretty all in this. He's not even quite yet saturated in his main. There goes the scan of Atlas. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Scans the natural, sees no base there. Roach is moving in a little bit late to repair on the bunker. He needs to get all those SCVs repairing that bunker. It's going down. SCVs just standing around doing nothing. The bunker will fall. Roaches being focused down by the Marines. Just not quite enough roaches. 2 Marauders there doing a lot to help out. SCVs hurting them off. Let's get those SCVs back to mining, and it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. More roaches are on the way, but I think
Atlas is in trouble the longer this goes on without him knowing that his Zerg opponent is actually on 2 bases. And here comes some more roaches. The Bioarm is going to be able to handle this, but
yeah,
not without losses.
I would like to see EON take another gas behind this, and saturate the gas and do that and add banelings into this composition. If he wants to keep pressuring like this without transitioning out into Econ, he is starting to drone up Atlas's third. That's an interesting thing to say in a game, but he can either choose to continue this pressure or try to Econ his way out of this. And I think if he tries to do both, he's not gonna be doing himself a disservice for the late game, because Atlas is on 2 bases, and there's a whole myriad of 2 base pushes for Terran that are gonna be very deadly for this, in that he's gonna be completely unable to defend both of these bases at the same time. He just doesn't have enough units.
And on a side note, both of these players have been struggling to keep their supply cap in check. Both getting supply blocked a couple times already in this game. So it doesn't look like either player at this time is really playing at the tip top. Not really surprising coming out of EON with you know, this weird build. Oh my gosh! And that
so one
now.
Marine manages to just squeak out here. Sees this this proxied hatch. Bio coming out. I don't think there's enough roaches here to engage this. Marauders making short work of this. The DPS, the Marines backing it up. This base over here is in pretty grave danger. EON forced to evacuate all of his probes. Queen goes down. This hatchery will fall. This is the this is exactly what I was talking about. That decision to both drone and sort of try to maintain the pressure. You end up not having enough drones to give yourself an economic advantage, and you also don't have enough army to contend with what Atlas has to push out.
Oh, I love the map awareness of EON. As soon as those Marines got out of vision, started warping in some more lings.
Yeah, EON now spreading out his overlords. He's going to be able to see every possible attack path here. He sees Atlas marching across. I think Atlas is in a great spot here. Only a few lings. The hatchery at the natural is still not in completion. And Spire halfway finished, but 2 roaches in production, a bunch of lings. All the drones coming down to help try to repel this, but he's going to lose so much here. Just kiting, more lings coming. Oh, speed finally here. That's going to help a little bit to try to get this surrounded. Get down some of these units, but this is all lost mining time for EON, and I think Atlas is perfectly happy to trade this bio ball for a bunch of drone kills and basically zeroing out the mining time of EON. There are pretty much no drones mining.
Yeah,
all the drones now pulled back.
And those drones were almost more damage to EON than they were helping, keeping those lings from being able to engage that bio ball.
Yeah, Atlas totally fully saturated here on his main. Now getting a little bit. Well, he's been oversaturated for a while, but I'd like to see Atlas either get aggressive here with drops. He knows he's far ahead, and I think that's what he's going to do. He's got the reactor here building on a factory, and he's got the starport right next to it, moving a command center here down to take a third. I like this position. Be aggressive behind this, and once Stim finishes research, it's about 3/4 of the way done. I'd like to see Atlas be super aggressive and just not give EON a chance to get back in this game.
Atlas has taken a third, dropped a whole bunch of mules there. We do see a switch, as you touched on just a moment ago. Starport now set up with a reactor. Additional barracks going down. Going to see some pretty bio-heavy play. And it looks like we're going to see some tanks as well, as a reactor, or I'm sorry, as a tech lab was added to that factory that was left shortly ago. SCVs moving down.
Maybe he may just be building this to switch over with the barracks, but we'll definitely see. That nothing coming out of that factory as of yet. Medevacs in double production with this reactor, and I think Atlas is going to be in full Marine Marauder medevac production pretty soon. Also, Armory just started for Atlas. Zerg player not in great shape here. His early proxy Roach play did not work as Atlas was able to respond with the bunker just in time.
And with that scan,
definitely trying to take a third here.
With that scan, Atlas does know that mutas are on the field. Be interesting to see if we see a hardcore commitment to those missile turrets like we did last game. Here comes a nice bio push stem up the ramp. There's not enough here. This is a pretty...
Yeah, there's no banelings in this composition at all, so that small fleet of Zerglings is not going to do too much against this this Marine ball. This is very cost ineffective. Not much that EON can do here. These Marines are just shredding through all of these workers. Just using your workers to defend for 2 pushes in a row it spells disaster. And there's the GG. Pretty much to be expected after losing almost all of your workers there.
Oh my gosh.
Great game by Atlas.
We're tied up.